I want to talk about my thoughts on Avatar 2. One of the incredible things about this film, you almost shouldn't go for the CGI because after, I would say, 10 minutes, you completely forget that you're watching CGI. You genuinely feel as if they filmed this on another planet somehow.
Breathe.
I've heard people talk about how a film like this is no longer needed because we've all gotten used to such great CGI, or the technology isn't interesting anymore. But the fact is that no one actually uses CGI that well in the films. The best CGI is ever used is in films where it's mostly practical effects and then they touch it up with CGI later. In the films that rely on CGI, even Marvel films, the last good use of CGI was Endgame, and then they totally gave up. Like Scarlett Johansson's film Black Widow was awful CGI, and so I went into Avatar 2 thinking I'd seen this all before, and the CGI was just far beyond the first film. I didn't actually think the first film was that incredible. I thought the first film was like definitely better than games, but I didn't feel like I was completely lost in the world. There were bits like t-shirts just not looking real on people's bodies. In this film, everything just looks perfect. And then, okay, so that's the CGI bit. I think some people, they talk down the plot of this film. The plot of this film is great. It's so solid. I actually think it's quite complicated and interesting, and there's a lot of things like family dynamics, and one of the things that James Cameron does really well is the heroes. Sometimes you don't like the heroes because they're not making good decisions, and one of the things I like about that is because that's what makes them human characters despite them being aliens. It's nice to see a film that can deliver exactly what you wanted and what you expected and still surprise you. One particular bit, there's a human character that has grown up on Pandora with the aliens, and there's a bit where Zoe Saldana's character just becomes a sort of savage tearing up these bad guys. But these bad guys are humans, they're people, but she just looks just completely animalistic and enraged. And you see this moment where this boy that's grown up with Zoe Saldana's character his whole life is suddenly afraid to come out and reach out to her and ask for her help. So like he's been trapped with the enemy the majority of the film, and he's suddenly afraid to reach out to this person that he's known his whole life because he's afraid that he's going to tear him to pieces, and you believe it, and you believe his fear, and it's a really interesting moment. After Avatar 1, I didn't want to see Avatar 2. I didn't need to. I did not care. After Avatar 2, I need to see Avatar 3. So that's what this film has done really well. It's like built on that story, but so much more than that. It's built on that CGI, but so much more than that. And then Avatar 3, I've got this like so many questions as to what's going to happen to these characters. In Jake Sully, one of the interesting things is he never fully explained to the aliens why human beings needed Pandora. So I think the films are going to get gradually more and more complicated as time goes on. So I'm really excited for that.